All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Strong and Simple podcast. This is one half of your co-host, Marissa, and I'm here with Michelle.
I am the other 50%.
And we are excited to be joined once again by Jen Borruso, who is the owner of Anchor Fit Club. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes. So a little background before we kind of like dive into the meat and potatoes of this episode. First off, Michelle is going to be bouncing off for a few minutes in this episode because she is an educator in a local school district that is currently on strike because they have been without a contract for, I don't know how long.
We've been negotiating since the spring, since April, and we were officially without a contract as of August 31st of this year. We were back to work today. We were on strike yesterday. We have a tentative agreement. So tonight is the vote to ratify with the union members. So I will be jumping off for a few minutes, but then I'll be back.
Yes. So we wanted to do this episode, but we definitely want Michelle to vote because we support teachers. Teachers
absolutely.
Teachers just don't get treated as well as they deserve. And we hope that this results in a good contract for y'all. So that being said, we're here to talk about the Bodi, formerly known as Beach. I guess that's the best way of saying it. No, I want to like caveat this, right? Because I feel like people might be like, oh my gosh, they're an anti-Beachbody podcast. They're just an anti-MLM podcast. And that's not just what we are, but we do talk about those things a lot. But what we're about to talk about with regards to Beachbody is something that is not uncommon. Other companies have tried this shit. And so we really want to kind of like parse that out for what it is. And kind of talk about the shenanigans.
It's shenanigans, all right.
Yes,
sure is. It's the co-opting of multiple
body
movements.
Positivity and anti-diet culture.
But they are co-opting. They are not even doing it well.
No,
they're really doing a shitty job.
They're not even doing it well because I don't think they really understand.
Nope, they don't.
Nope.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah.
Their new thing. I just can't.
Yeah, go ahead, Jen. Just dive right in because you actually brought my attention to this.
Yes, I did. I sent you videos.
Yeah. Well, can we give our
Both
listeners background? Like what happened? Why did we convene this emergency meeting of the minds?
They had their annual summit in July.
Okay.
And Carl announced that there is going to be a change with the structure of the company. Mm-hmm. But he said in July at summit, he's like, we're changing to participation marketing. They're trying to, there's a lot of reinvention of work. There's a lot of invention of new words as it relates to multi-level marketing, like just making up stuff.
Yeah.
So they're no longer a multi-level marketing company. They're a participation marketing company. Same thing.
Yeah. If it looks like shit, it smells like shit.
It still looks like this. But they announced there was going to be changes coming to the structure of the company and compensation plans and all that. But it was going to be announced at Leadership in October. Mm-hmm. Leadership was last weekend in Arizona.
Okay.
So they announced all of they didn't announce every single change because what they like to do is drip out information slowly.
Of course.
So next month when they do a Super Saturday, they'll announce more changes and they'll keep dripping.
I can't wait.
So they want to shift away from outcomes and before and after pictures, apparently. Mm-hmm. They're going into more holistic approach to health is what they said. Sustainable nutrition, a positive relationship with fitness, and mindset. So this is what they're talking about right now. I gotta pull this up because I wrote it down. One of the slides that they presented last week, which it was a picture of women lined up.
Mm-hmm.
All
the thin white women.
All the thin white women. Body positivity and an active, healthy lifestyle can coexist.
Do you have that handy, like on your screen right now?
I have it on my phone.
Oh, okay. I would love to green screen it. I'm going to see if I can find it so we can show it for our YouTube watchers.
Let me. Yeah, it's all on my phone.
Are you?
Yeah,
oh,
no worries.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, I'll keep talking. I'll pull it up. I think I texted it to Michelle, so I'll pull it up on my my laptop.
So that's one thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's absolutely 100% correct. My issue with it, and other people's issues with it, who have been advocating for the body positivity movement and community, and saying, look, it's not created for thin white women hunched over in a chair. Mm-hmm. It was created for Black. That's not who it's for. They have blocked us and consistently called us haters and trolls when we're saying, no, this isn't what this is. And then you have the face of the company, Autumn Calabrese, this summer on her stories saying she was sick and tired of the bullshit body positivity movement.
I wish we had that clip to put up here because it's something.
Can you guys edit it in later? Maybe. No?
Yeah, I'm not that talented.
Okay.
But anyways, it's something, folks. She essentially went on a big giant rant all about how bullshit she was about body positivity and how it's only for people who don't look like her, essentially. So if body positivity is not inclusive because it's not including folks who are already living in a thin body.
Yeah, it's not included.
All right, let me know if you can hear this. You might be able to hear it.
Positivity movement, because it's only body positive to people that are not in shape, and everybody. So I'm really confused.
Hold on.
Constantly saying,
So body positivity, I'm just so way over this bullshit body positivity movement because it's only body positive to people that are not in shape. And she continued on that rant to told people to get off of Instagram and go work out. How are they going to spin that?
Right. Like,
well, because their other body positive queen, Ashley Molstead, also this year went on a rant at some point too, didn't she? About how she wasn't for that anymore because it swung the pendulum too far.
She said she was tired of talking about bodies.
Okay, that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, she said she was tired of talking about bodies. There's a clip. Cheryl Spears. I wonder if you guys can tag her in the show notes. She has all of the audio, all of the clips in Reels on her Instagram page.
Yep. Yeah, we'll link that.
Yeah, link that. So she said that. And then, so we're moving away from the outcomes. We're moving away from before and afters. Then you have a one of the founding 7 coaches speak at this leadership last weekend. And she said, we're not before and afters anymore. They're then and nows.
Okay.
Okay. Educate Michelle. Aren't those synonyms?
I mean,
before,
I guess,
after,
but I guess
then now.
By changing the after to then, or like
now.
To now, you are saying that it's like a snapshot in time. However, you're still doing a comparison of what you looked like then and what you look like now, and likely a glorification of how your now most likely smaller body is superior to that then. So that's what makes it. So just changing the lingo.
Language.
Lingo.
Listen, it has been a long month, but
Yeah.
oof. Yeah.
So they're all about now. It's about how you feel, but they're still going to show snapshots in time 3 weeks apart. And if you go look, I did a little digging. I went onto the FAQ page because they're releasing they're not going to be releasing programs every quarter now. Longer programs.
Interesting. Okay.
They are transitioning from the Beachbody On Demand to the Beachbody Interactive, which is why they are now just going to be they call themselves body coaches now. I'm not a Beachbody coach anymore. I'm a body coach.
Body coach.
Also, Jen is not a body coach, just in case that's taken out of context.
Not. Yeah, she's not.
The capital BOD, lowercase I, stands for Beachbody On Demand Interactive. So Beachbody is still in the name.
So clever.
And they're coming out with these body blocks, which is their take on periodization in training.
Okay.
So every 3 weeks every month there's going to be new workouts coming out. 3 weeks of workouts, 5 days a week for an hour. And then you have a restorative week. So they're body blocks. But if you go into the body block frequently asked questions, the first thing that comes up is submit your transformation pictures to enter into the Beachbody Challenge for your opportunity to win up to $100,000.
Wow.
How can you be moving away from before and afters and outcomes if you're still pushing the Beachbody Challenge?
Yep. Absolutely. You can't. You know, it's like they're hoping nobody will notice.
No, we noticed.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah.
So maybe for folks who are listening who don't necessarily know Jen, I'm going to log out and then come back in, hopefully relatively soon, but carry on. Maybe just give a little history of what body positivity is, maybe a little chat about what it is, like body positivity, body neutral, and then like popular ways that this is spun by and Body is not Beachbody. Carl Deichler is not the only one doing this.
Right.
But according to them, he is the only one putting the stake in the ground to make a change in the toxic industry.
I saw that. Stake in the ground, just like a colonizer. All right. And on that note, I'll be back.
She just drops the mic and leaves. And gives us instruction.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. So I think and something that I saw a lot of people drawing attention to when this, kind of announcement leaked or got made public or whatnot, was that announcement that you were referencing. And unfortunately, it's not letting me share my screen beyond my browser window. But, this announcement that says, we are Bodi, and discusses, they're now going to be about body positivity. And the image is entirely thin white women. White women. And, this is a really like a classic example of the body positivity movement being co-opted. This is a movement that was born from Black women. And
queer, disabled, fat.
Yep.
Fat is not a bad word.
Nope, it is not. It is a descriptor. Yep. And it has become incredibly whitewashed, and the whole point behind it has been lost. And this is just another example of, first of all, a diet company co-opting that movement in an attempt to make themselves money. And this is going to primarily benefit white folks who are able-bodied, who meet a certain aesthetic, and they're making money off of a movement that was not founded by them.
Yeah. So one of the slides, I was at their conference on one of the first days. It's a red circle, green circle. Mm-hmm. Red circle, diet and fitness industry says, if you look good, you will be happy. Mm-hmm. The truth is, you're happy when you feel good. That's what they put. And now health esteem routine is what they're calling it. Health esteem. And they're trying to say that Carl came up with the idea of health esteem.
No.
He did not. Those terms together have been around for a while.
A really long time. Yeah.
And you can actually search the hashtag. There's actually a trainer his program is based off of health esteem. And I messaged him. I said, hey, just so you know, this hashtag is about to be taken over by thin white women.
Yeah.
And sure enough, within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And this is a Black man.
Yep. Of course. Yeah.
And his posts are gone.
It's disgusting. Gone. Yeah.
And I talked to him about his program's amazing. Like I was talking to him about it. I'm like, this sounds great. I'm like, you coach weight loss, so that's not what I do, but people want weight loss. So it's like, at least they have a safe space to go to.
100%.
So they're thinking body positivity is eating more dessert.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like, we're going to eat more dessert. We're not going to focus on transformation pictures, but they are. We're not going to focus on weight loss, but we are.
Yeah.
And swap dirty energy for clean energy.
Yeah. And this is like such another classic diet tool. Yes, I did. Because I posted what I ate for lunch yesterday. And, we had this exchange where you're like, Beachbody coaches would say that is dirty energy because I threw a Reese's cup and a Diet Coke in there because I like those foods.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So what's wild is that, again, we have called them out numerous times for being fat phobic.
Yeah.
For being problematic, for being toxic.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there have been people that have been like, look, this is what the body positivity movement is and who it is for. It is not thin white women sitting on a chair hunched over and showing their rolls.
Exactly.
A la Ashley Molstad.
Yep.
Going viral. That's not what it is.
Yep.
It's a social justice movement.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And we've lost
social justice movement. And they're saying we're not going to make it about bodies, but they're totally making it about bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It should.
Yeah. And I would say it's not only the fact that they're still making it about bodies, they are deliberately trying, now diet's kind of a dirty word, right? Like now it's not cool to diet. So, right. They're trying to cash in on that. They're trying to stay relevant, but they're still utilizing this language, right? Dirty energy, clean eating, dirty eating, whatever. And all that does is that's further stigmatization that, again, disproportionately impacts low-income communities, communities of color, disabled communities, you name it. And it's like there's so many things I just want to say all at the same time.
So they're, like I said, they're bringing in it's holistic now because they're implementing mental health into the platform. They brought in a new vice president of personal development.
Self-help books, little white girl self-help books.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
She claims she has a certification in positive psychology.
Okay.
And I went to her website and I looked, and it's the Well-Being Institute. And I'm like, I can't find that anywhere. There's a Well-Being Institute in Tucson here, but it's for psychological counseling. It's a counselor's office. I'm like, and somebody's like, oh, she's been in the wellness world for a really long time. I'm like, well, what are her certifications? Because I don't see any on her website. She doesn't list anything.
Yep.
So
you just get to announce that you're a psychologist.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have a book here, Positive Psychology. Should I call myself a positive psychologist now?
Obviously you're totally
I've read this like 4 times. So now their thought is, I'm watching Carl speak right now. Their idea is that changing up their marketing is going to get people to come in because they've been hundreds of thousands of people have been sitting on the sidelines and not joining Beachbody because they're intimidated.
Right.
Because it wasn't the marketing that they had been doing before. It was the media's fault.
Oh, of course.
For putting a negative connotation on the word Beachbody.
There's such like this need to play the victim is so
there has
disgusting.
Been no taking responsibility or accountability or saying, hey, we're making this shift because what we've done in the past has hurt people and it's wrong and people deserve better. So we are going to shift away from this. There's none of that. It's blame, 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 blame. We have to make these changes because this. We have to make these changes because this person said this. We have to make these changes because Protein World has ruined Beachbody.
Yeah.
The word, because they put pictures of women in bikinis next to their protein powders. I'm like, what do you think your marketing is?
Yeah, that's literally what it is. It's so interesting. Oh, it's so interesting to me how like they want to play the victim here, right? Like we got a bad rep and it's not our fault. We've been doing the right thing. It's all the media. But then at the same time are ballsy enough to be co-opting social justice movements, be co-opting and taking credit for terminology that they did not create, co-opting hashtags, branding, that kind of thing. And they're doing it in that manner because they know that they're too big for someone to come after.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't get to do both things. You can't be the victim and also be this, but we're also this big conglomerate. Go ahead and try to sue us for this. Go ahead and try to prove that, this is yours. Like those two things can't exist. So sorry, Beachbody, you're not the victim. Period. The end. You're still profiting.
So I'm trying to find, I have somebody had sent me, okay. When she comes back, I will go over, I have a list of the business plan makeover and what Bodi is. And they do have a new super trainer.
Oh, yay. Knowing what
when Michelle comes back, we'll I don't know if she knows who it is. So I'll let you, maybe guess this, but,
is it Jillian Michaels?
No, it's not. Oh God. I don't think her and Autumn could be in the same room together.
I feel like it would be like, I don't know, like King Kong and Godzilla, just like,
so here's the thing. I already brought up Autumn's rant about the body positivity movement.
Yeah.
This past summer.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the only time she did it.
No.
She's ranted about diet culture.
Yep.
Every Halloween.
Yeah. She hates fat people. Like, I think we need to just not mix words there.
Fat people. Yeah. When the UK Cosmopolitan came out in January 2021 with their covers.
Yep.
That this is healthy. With beautiful women in larger bodies, athletes.
Yeah.
I did a YouTube live on Sunday. We watched it. Mm-hmm. She went into a group and ranted. It's like, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. You can say they're strong. You can say they're this, but you can't say they're healthy.
And what evidence does she have for that? She doesn't know their
She doesn't. She was assuming. She's like, I'm not a medical professional, but I'm going to assume they may be stronger, this and that, but their blood work's probably not good.
Yeah.
Because of their size.
Not a medical professional, does not hold any valid credentials in the things she actually does.
No.
Still claims to have the expertise to make those assertions.
So it's like, she said these words. Mm-hmm. It's like, she's like the opposite ends of the spectrum, this and that, and this isn't healthy. We know this isn't healthy. Actually, can you please tell me one disease that a fat person gets that a skinny person does not?
That's That's right. It doesn't exist.
There isn't one.
Exactly.
But she's talking about these women on the covers, and it's like, this isn't healthy. Her version of healthy is what she looks like.
Yep. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And her habits, which are very particular, they are highly restrictive. They are extremely disordered. I definitely, it's not me it's not on me to be able to diagnose her with an eating disorder or anything like that. But watching that level of compulsiveness and restriction, that to me is not a great relationship with food.
And there's like this whole, she was on today talking about how she hasn't been feeling good because she's been traveling so much. She had her birthday month, celebrated for a month. She's like, oh, I may have had a few drinks this weekend. Like,
of course she's a birthday
I'm like, some of the stories of all the coaches that this is what gets me. So they preach health.
Yeah.
And at all of the events, all they do is get hammered.
Oh, I know several Beachbody coaches, and they go freaking hard, even if it's, and like they'll publicize it, right? They'll be like, I'm drinking wine right after my workout, or I'm working out so I can have my bottle of wine. And
then in the next breath, they're going to shame someone for eating a Snickers bar.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, oh my gosh, you're drinking a Diet Coke. That's so bad for you.
Yes,
like,
I am.
Alcohol's literal poison. I mean, there's just
it's
so
hypocritical.
Much.
It's there was a coach yesterday, I think, in her stories, shaming her mother-in-law for the food that she had at her house while she watched her kids while she was at the leadership retreat.
That's absolutely terrible.
She pulled out the salad dressing and only 2 grams of sugar in the salad dressing, right? It was Olive Garden salad dressing. It's a good salad dressing.
Yeah.
This is awful for you. This, that. She threw away a whole bunch of food. Tell me you are not privileged to be able to throw away food when there are people who don't have access to food consistently.
Exactly. Also, that mother-in-law, I'd be like, guess what? I'm never watching your damn kids again.
No.
You ungrateful, shriveled up piece of poo.
Oh, this girl's a piece of work. Like, I just discussed, like, people are like, oh, you don't know who she is? I'm like, no. She is like mean girl. Like, people send her, she's like, how come you're talking about your mother-in-law like that?
It's awful.
And she sent people to 988. She's like, you need help. You should dial this number. You need to, and they were kind. They're like, we don't understand why you're doing this to your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
You need help. Go to therapy. It's like, what is going on with this? I'm like, oh, there will be a sip and, oh, by the way, I started doing YouTube lives with a group of friends that were former Beachbody coaches. We call it sip and snark. So every once in a while, they end up on YouTube live. We go on live and talk. So that's fun. That awesome. Hello, she's back.
I'm back.
Yay.
All right.
What I missed.
So
just kidding.
Just chatting. You'll catch on the replay.
I sure will.
So they're co-opting the body positivity movement. We talked about who the body positivity movement is for, who it was created by. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Beachbody has a new super trainer.
Oh.
I want to know.
She goes by Lacey Green.
Oh. Okay.
She is. You know who she is, Michelle?
No.
She is a beautiful Black woman. Strong, larger bodied. She was in the cast of Muscle Burns Fitness, and she's on Instagram as, I think it's at the Curvy Girl Trainer.
Okay, I just Googled her.
I feel like I follow her.
You might.
I might.
She is amazing. And they brought her up and sat her on stage next to Autumn.
Oh.
And Autumn sat there like this.
You can tell.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You can see how uncomfortable she was sitting next to this woman talking about how joy and being so joyful about movement and bringing fitness to every single body because they all deserve it.
Yep.
Which Autumn's latest program was fitness for everybody, which it's not.
It's not.
I still have to review that program. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And now Autumn has a new program coming out.
Yeah.
Called Healthy Obsession.
Which is not healthy, the word obsession in and of itself. But I mean, in our last episode, the last time you were on, we talked about the fact that, or maybe this is a conversation on Instagram even, but we talked about the fact that so many of their workout programs are not safe and they are not methodologically sound and not accessible. Even like the modifications aren't safe for a lot of people. So I can only imagine.
So they're coming up with body blocks. This was one of the new things. And hold on, I'm going to pull up the thing so I can make sure I say it right. Bodi will feature monthly body blocks. There will be new, fresh content that will start on the first Monday of every month. They're copying Peloton, by the way.
Yep.
Easy to invite to. Easy to talk about. Less training for coaches.
They didn't even have any. How did they get less?
they had like team calls all about how to stack your team and
they still do that.
Buy more supplements.
They still do that.
Like
sign your loved ones up with their social security number and not tell them.
Yeah, until you don't have any friends or family left.
So there are 3 blocks for people to choose from. This is an all body block. I'm not know what that is. Bike block, beginner block. Okay. There will be 5 workouts per week for 3 weeks. The last week is a recovery week. It's built on the concept called block periodization. Work hard and recover. Now, Michelle, when you build out a program, do you do it to where the deload week is every 3 weeks?
That's not typical.
Yeah.
Don't get excited, Marissa. You don't get a deload.
I know, I'm like, when's my deload week?
I know, I see that. I was like, are we friends now?
No, typically it wouldn't be every 3 weeks.
So it's like 3 weeks of training, then you get a deload week.
I mean, even I know that's not a thing.
I mean, that's atypical for sure.
Yeah. If you're using periodization and you're using it to create the stress and the adaptations that you want, 3 weeks isn't long enough. Nope. It's not.
That's the point,
isn't it? But the way I'm seeing this is like it's going to be 5 days a week for an hour. They're going to be work again. They're not building rest into the week.
Nope. No. By day 5, they're going to be dragging.
It's like, what are you doing? You're close.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
I can.
Oh, there you go.
And that's a lot of cardio.
Of course it is.
Well, there's 3 different plans. So there's burn, build, and ride.
I hope you put this in.
So I'm assuming this has to do with their bike.
Yeah.
Why
their
the
rickety
hell
bike.
are they spelling flexibility?
Healthy obsession. So so they're gonna have. So I'm assuming they're gonna launch these like special blocks every quarter instead of releasing.
They're going to be called super blocks. And they start in March, and that's when Lacey gets her first program, and it's going to be a beginner program. But in order to access these super blocks, you have to pay $29 a month.
Okay.
Okay.
On top of your Bodi subscription, unless you are buying a challenge pack or have like a 90 PV in product as a coach.
Okay. I see. So there's that incentive.
So I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that they have Lacey doing a beginner program.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which I think that it's wonderful. Like I'm going to say, it's wonderful that they are doing a beginner program. And it does appear from the little scrolling I just did about her that seems like she will be somebody who is actually knowledgeable about doing a beginner program. Because I know that a lot of times, as somebody who loves working with beginners, oftentimes beginner programs are not actually beginner programs.
Exactly. Same.
But
so I found more of it. So
okay.
The super blocks are for your super trainers, and they're remaking their most popular programs to condense them into 3 weeks.
Okay. Well, that makes sense because Autumn's special body block healthy obsession that's coming in November. Not that I'm trying to be an advertisement for it, but if you look at the names of the
it's the same
workouts,
structure.
it's the same
fucking
thing as it's been. It's 80-day obsession, but also I'm pretty sure 21-day fix had like
it's the same names, same
similar like instead it's booty instead of leg day. Like
she shared some behind the scenes stuff yesterday in her stories, and one of the moves was like a spinning lateral lunge, and then you go into a forward bear crawl and a backwards bear crawl, and I'm like, what the
That makes me think of the like crazy version of the Turkish getup that she had in 80-day obsession, where it was like 1/4 getup, but you like flipped over onto your stomach and did something, and then like wrote or like into a. I can't even remember like what it was, but it was bananas.
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was that movement when I was like, what is even happening here? What is this? What is this? Yep.
I saw that. I'm like, why does Marissa your face?
I'm like,
we're going to do that Thursday. We're going to do it Thursday.
No, it's squat day.
I just changed my mind.
For those who don't know, Michelle's now my trainer.
Surprise!
Surprise!
She loves it.
I do. Yeah, I only told her I hated her once.
It's just everything is always so complicated with her.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, it's fitness entertainment, entertainment.
Yeah.
Which is what has sold in the past. I mean, even and I love Shailene, and I will always love her. I can't.
But she defected, so.
But she did. But she, even like Pio, is unnecessary. I mean, I guess people love it, and like, I'm all for people like enjoying what they want to do. I didn't like it either because it like
people love it, not me.
Not me. So
it just overcomplicated things.
Yeah, yeah.
So as like right now, coaches are putting themselves out there as fitness experts and nutrition experts. Now with bringing in Petra Cobbler as vice president of personal development. Michelle, if you want to look up the book, The Perfection Detox, she wrote that. So every month, that last week is going to be personal development and mindset stuff, which now they're going all excited. Yes, we're going to really get into personal development. We're really getting into mindset. I'm like, isn't one of the pillars read your personal development every single day?
Right? Isn't that like the core of every MLM?
Nothing is like going through and listening and seeing all of this. Nothing is new.
Yeah.
Like the core of what they're promoting.
Yeah.
Nothing is new.
Yeah.
I went back and I scrolled through my old, I doom scrolled myself. Right? And I went through all my old Beachbody stuff and some stuff when I was in Viseo and the Wine Club and Melaleuca. And I'm like, fuck, man, I was a hun. There's some bad stuff down there. But everything I was talking about then, they're trying to pretend that it's all new now. I'm like, no, you've been talking about this for 6 years.
Yeah.
5 years. Nothing is changing.
Yeah. It's like
it's all a
jeans.
marketing thing.
Like what's old is new.
Yeah, it's all a marketing thing.
Yeah.
So Shakeology is now being marketed as a dessert shake.
Oh, yeah.
The worst dessert ever.
This is what I wanted to dig into, was this and the clean energy.
Okay, we saved it for you. We haven't talked about that yet.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just touched briefly on dirty energy.
We are going to talk about coal mines and windmills, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
dirty
they mean?
energy. Fossil fuels. Yes. No, apparently anything that's not a food.
This ties in again to their idea of what being anti-diet culture, what anti-diet culture is, and what body positivity is.
Yeah.
They think being anti-diet just means we're eating dessert all the time.
Right.
So they're like, okay, eat more dessert, but it's Shakeology.
Yeah.
There's a rule there.
Yeah.
Like, eat more dessert. And I scrolled through and I'm like, wait, this isn't new. We were doing Shakeology as dessert back then. I had posts about Shakeology mug cakes.
Right.
Or a post about Shakeology tasting like a Snickers bar, or not eating a cupcake at my mom's birthday. I came home and had Shakeology for dessert instead.
Right.
So like I said, nothing is changing.
No. And it's this like really toxic healthification because, right, dessert is dirty, dessert is bad. You know, it's this, they're still perpetuating that diet culture of good food, bad food, which is nonsense as we know, but it's like, have more dessert, but you're not actually allowed to have dessert. You're going to have to trick yourself into enjoying a smoothie and think that it's dessert. And you know what?
They sent out recipe books to the top coaches this summer.
Oh, of course. I'm sure they did.
Shakeology recipe books for dessert.
Yep.
They sent it out. It was after Summit. Because I remember seeing it. I said, something's happening. Something's happening. They sent out that, and it looked like they were redoing the ultimate reset.
Okay.
Oh.
So they sent that all out together. So I'm like, so that's how that tied in. Okay. This is where they're going with that. So the top coaches knew it was coming.
Yeah.
With this. But here's my thing. They're already under eating on these plants.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of them are eating or are consuming the Shakeology for like breakfast or a snack. They don't eat at night.
No.
So now they're going to eat less during the day.
Yeah.
So they can have their dessert.
Yeah.
And does this mean that they're going to end up having 2 shakes a day, essentially? Like, so they're going to be using 2 servings of Shakeology. So breakfast shake and then dessert shake?
No, because they still have to count towards their containers.
Oh.
And there's a new package coming out. 20 servings of Shakeology, 20 servings of Energize for $129.
So not even a month's worth.
Not even a month's worth.
But they like dry scoop their Shakeology like it.
No,
like
like dry
energized. Like they're energized. That's what I meant.
Please don't try. Oh my god.
Please don't dry scoop. It's not necessary. It
like
doesn't take that long to take.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take that freaking long to take your scoop of pre-workout and put it in some water and give it a little shake-a-roo and drink it. Yeah. Like, it's not that hard.
It's not. I think
they like to do it because it gets the caffeine in their systems really fast right away. But it's also dangerous. You go to Poison Control has it on their website. Do not dry scoop. The FDA, do not dry scoop. It is hazardous to your health because of the amount of caffeine you get into your system right away. Because it's not diluted. I've gone back and forth with compliance about this. There's one coach in particular who likes to dry scoop, and they're ignoring me now. But I said, you can keep ignoring me, but every time she does it, you're getting an email, and the FTC is too.
Yeah.
Well, we can't control her. I said, it is your company's product, and on the back it says, this is how you use it.
Yeah. So
she needs to be using it that way.
Yep. If not, guess what? She doesn't get to be a distributor anymore. That's the way
she got kicked. She lost her elite status.
Oh, wow.
She got busted for stacking.
Oh. I feel like a whole bunch of them did, right?
So far, only 2.
Oh,
But one of them didn't lose her status because she was top 10.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she went top 10 because she went viral for getting, she ate carrots with mustard and Gordon Ramsay saw it and he roasted her.
It's a good reason to go viral.
Because mustard's a free food. She can't have ranch, so she's eating carrots with mustard as her snack.
Unreal. You know,
That's not disordered at all.
I know, right? I feel like this ties in well with the Halloween episode that Michelle and I just
was
put
just
out,
thinking that.
right? Because so we were talking about, if people haven't listened to it, we were talking about Halloween candy and how any food that you do not allow yourself to have then holds power over you because it is so forbidden, so restricted. And eventually, you know, when you do finally get to have that food, you feel completely out of control. It feeds this narrative that you can't be trusted, that there's something wrong with you, you have no self-control, yada, yada, yada. And following a plan like this, where you're now expected to treat Shakeology as your dessert and you're not allowed to actually have dessert, it's the same exact thing, right? It's making dessert that forbidden fruit, and it's increasing your odds of binging or just generally consuming more than you normally would. And that's only going to further the narrative of you being defective for some way or in some way, having no self-control, not being able to trust yourself. And it perpetuates that diet cycle where you restrict, binge, restrict. So they keep you coming back.
Well, they're the ones that were at leadership this past weekend, binged. Now you're coming back to them. They're restricting again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been every single Monday. It's like, and all the way, there's this, they all, like we talked about this while you weren't here, Michelle, they drink so much alcohol.
Yep.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm watching that. I was like, I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's also like that mommy wine culture, right?
Yes.
Like that all kind of loops in. Like, I feel like it's all super strongly related with like MLMs and like uber Christian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mommy culture, like, because that's such a big demographic for them to prey on is, you know, the mom bod and bounce back culture and all of that bullshit. It's such a demographic to market. And then you have also in society this, like, it's like mommy wine time, whatever. And I understand that I am having a glass of wine right now, but like moderation. And I also I'm not going to make excuses because then it sounds like something, but there is like this in MLMs. There is this, I see it all the time. This, that mommy wine culture situation that very closely aligns with the other things, which is, I did some Clubhouse rooms about this with my friend Keola back in the day when I was still on Clubhouse doing that thing. But this conversation about if you're trying to lose weight for health, but then you're trying to talk about how you can even drink on this diet or this lifestyle allows you to drink.
Yeah.
Well, alcohol is literally a poison. So like if you are all about health, maybe for 60 days or 90 days or 21 days or whatever your bullshit thing is, maybe you don't drink for those times, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like a piece of chocolate's healthier, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
Healthier. And if you're listening, not watching, I just did air quotes per usual.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Jen and I were saying that earlier, right? They've got this dirty energy. So they're going to food shame all these foods that are supposedly dirty while also drinking what is literally a poison.
Mm-hmm.
It makes, again, the hypocrisy is just staggering.
It's organic wine.
Yeah, that's still better for you. But it's like they keep going. The Beachbody coaches are like, Energize is clean and all natural. it's still all right. There are other ones out there too.
Have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, I did the live today, and so like, well, what about all this I'm like, well, one, pre-workout shouldn't be had. You should not be doing pre-workout every single day.
Right.
No, absolutely not.
It's not an every single day thing. Last night before I went to my workout, I went and got an Americano, just a small one, with like 1 pump of sugar-free vanilla, because otherwise it's too bitter, and a Rice Krispie treat.
Yeah.
That was my pre-workout.
Yeah, it's carbs.
And then I went and squatted more than what Autumn weighs.
I'm sure you did.
But so I found more stuff. Sorry, I did not have my notes organized. I apologize.
That's all right. We're an off the cuff kind of podcast, you know that.
So as Beachbody is differentiating, and coaches can too. This is what pisses me off too, is like, no, you aren't, this isn't new. This isn't innovative. There are people that have been out here doing the work that you're attempting to co-opt for decades.
Yep.
For decades. I'm like, I've only been doing it for 3 years, but there's people out there that I look up to and be like, you have a question? Go to them.
And you defer to them and you give them
defer to them.
Yeah.
As Bodi, I hate saying that, moves into its new name and health esteem mission, the company is differentiating from the rest of the diet and fitness industry.
No, you're not.
We want people to get lasting results and enjoy life along the way. We want people to look, thought it wasn't about looks, and feel good. Yeah. For example, instead of competing with other at-home fitness providers, Bodi is creating a new category of health altogether. Health esteem includes fitness, nutrition, and mindset.
How is that a category?
It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's a concept of enjoying fitness and nutrition and balance and achieving success by feeling good and setting habits that last. I've been doing that for 3 years with the people I work with.
Right.
Michelle, that's what you do with Tina. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then they tell coaches to niche down, which they've told them that for years.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing is changing. It's all putting a pretty new package and bow and makeup. Like, you can put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
Yep.
A cheetah cannot change its spots.
Yep.
It's just another flavor of the same shit sandwich.
Yep.
Nothing is changing.
Yeah.
But what this tells me is all of the pushback they've been getting the last 2 years got to them.
Yeah.
Well, they're also like just hemorrhaging money, aren't they? Like their bike thing didn't work well.
Nope. They're dropping so they're combining the stuff. I don't have the prices with me for it, but they have another total solutions pack coming out. And one of the reasons they're going to the 20 energize in a bag of 20 servings of Shakeology. Mm-hmm. It's called a Shake and Hustle pack. Mm-hmm. And it's going to include a year subscription to Bod, not to Bodi, to Bod. And they have to upgrade to the annual Bodi if they want that. They did this. The breakdown of the 2020 servings helps us to introduce people to multiple products. If they love one, they can order more. We hope to have fewer cancels or delays because people will not end up with extra product. It also lines up with the Body Block concept of 3 workouts and a recovery week. So this is my question. There's 31 days in a month, but they're only selling 30 days worth of Shakeology. So you're only allowed to have dessert for 20 days or 20 days of Shakeology.
Yeah.
You only get dessert 20 days. That doesn't make any sense. If the Shakeology is supposed to be your healthiest meal of the day, it is their cornerstone supplement.
Yep.
You're only selling, well, people don't drink it every day.
Right.
Well,
well, now they have a reason for you to order from your spouse or whoever, right? Like your partner or your mom or your dog or whoever else you sign up.
Yeah.
They're going to end up spending more money. The coaches are the customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're going to end up spending more money on a yearly basis on these products.
Yeah.
And the body blocks, from what I have it in a message somewhere, they'll release it to the people that are on auto ship. So if you have Shakeology auto shipped every month, you'll have access to it.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything on auto ship, you have to pay the $29 extra.
Okay.
Those don't go release to public for 6 months. So in 6 months, it'll do it. So if you want access to those super trainer blocks right away, you're paying $29. It's almost $360 a year extra on top of your yearly subscription.
Does that include the live workouts? I'm sorry, because didn't they start doing live?
That's what their Body is.
Okay. All right.
Interactive. Okay. I mean, I guess all in all, this is a flailing company that is desperate to stay relevant and make money. And so they are willing to ignore the harm that they have done and continue to do, and are willing to co-opt social justice movements and other things that don't belong to them, all for the sake of their bottom line.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds
familiar. But according to a coach in her stories last night, Carl is not doing this to pad his stock, to increase his stock. Really? Because that's the whole point of owning a business, is to make money.
Yeah.
And he's beholden to shareholders. And if he's not doing his job.
Yeah. And what did you say their stock was at as of today?
It closed at $1.15.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Started the day at $1.20.
Yeah.
I mean, stocks are going down across the board, but they've been plummeting since they went public, right?
Yes. They went public. All right. Dog, really?
At first I thought it was a baby, and I was like, you don't have babies in the house. Oh, hey, pups.
Oh, Nugget. I want him.
He's my baby. So let's get yours. Max. January of 2021, it was $10.47. When they went public, I think it was over the summer. The highest it's ever been was $14.05 in February of 2021.
Not really a great showing.
Go.
Damn.
Bye. See ya.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you just go to the max, and it goes here, 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 and then it dropped dramatically between July of 2021 to November. It went from $10.87 on July 23rd, 2021. Oh, wait. Yeah. And then it dropped to $2.76 by November.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense when you think about the structure of multi-level marketing companies, right? Because there are only so many people to be recruited, and not all of them are going to order, and people are going to start leaving the ranks as soon as they realize they're no longer making money and they are in fact losing money. So the lifespan of an MLM company is limited just by its very nature. And
the stock hasn't been over $3 all year.
Yeah. It's like they're burning out, and they chose to, make their on-demand this thing that you can access without, going through the MLM part. But that was great during COVID lockdown, but the demand for that kind of stuff has dropped since then.
Yep.
People want to be back in person. So
they shifted. So when you go to sign up now, you have the option to say, I want to coach or I don't want to coach.
Oh.
Because they merged with OpenFit.
Okay.
Which most people don't know. OpenFit was actually a Beachbody company.
Fascinating.
The new program that's coming out now, XB Sculpt and Sweat or something, was actually an OpenFit program. and was filmed at OpenFit. So if you watch the videos of that workout, the supplement company Ladder.
No.
Yes.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's. I think it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's supplement company.
I've heard of it.
Well, they sold that on OpenFit. So there's the supplements in the videos for this workout are Ladder supplements. They aren't Shakeology.
Oh.
Because they filmed it for OpenFit. They didn't re-record any of it with Beachbody.
That's funny.
Fun fact.
Huh.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes. And it sounds like they're only going to do maybe 1 or 2 big new program launches a year. Like Sure Thing is coming out at the end of this year in December after Autumn's thing happens. And then it sounds like they're doing a new one for Summit.
Okay.
All right.
But it's just nothing is changing. That's nothing is changing. And I don't know. And their haters and trolls are never going to be happy. Well, it's because you're not doing anything different.
Yeah, you're still doing the same shit.
You're just changing language. I'm trying to find what Carl made up some more words about
Health esteem.
Yeah, I'll find it. If I find it, I'll send it to you. I have a bunch of messages. Again, I'm not organized on my phone. I forgot what he called it, but it was like, he's just making up shit again. Like participation marketing, health esteem. He's trying to take ownership of that, which that's been around forever. Like, it's nothing. It's not new. Like they're trying to take credit for things that they didn't create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
and
this is a lesson for folks on being an informed consumer as much as possible and being able to, just dig a little deeper and ask the questions about like what is what when you are thinking about starting a program.
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't an MLM component to this idea of body blocks and there weren't coaches around, it's a good idea for somebody who just wants to stay active.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are looking to get stronger, if you have a specific goal, if you're returning from an injury or you're trying to work on something specific, that's not going to do it.
No.
Right.
No. Absolutely.
It's kind of like, when they would remember muscle confusion and we would switch up programs so got to keep your muscles confused so they, get stronger. That's what it feels like to me. Because you're going to jump from a strength training program to a dance program to a boxing program to a strength training program to, it's like, it's not, is it going to be consistent? What's it going to look like?
Yeah.
You may do periodization, but there's no progression.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're still going to be lifting 3-pound big dumbbells.
Yep. Because they don't get bulky.
I mean, no, if that's where you're at, that's where you're at, because that's some days I'm there with my shoulder, but you see coaches that have been doing these workouts for 10 plus years, not going heavier than 25 pounds. There's no, come on, you should be able to do a 50-pound dumbbell row. There's no reason that you shouldn't not be able to do that if you've been training and exercising as long as, they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 years is a long time to progress in strength.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unless you're not actually trying to. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like body positivity and an active, healthy lifestyle can coexist. No shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we've been saying, and you tell us that we are anti-health.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, if you don't believe that everything should be about weight loss, then you're anti-health. That's how.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. If you're looking at joining Beachbody, as a coach, especially if you're watching this and you're going to I'm going to join as a coach, make sure their actions match their words because they don't, as evidenced by the FAQs about the body blocks. The first paragraph talks about the Beachbody challenge and submitting your transformation pictures in order to win money.
Yep.
Your then and now pictures, Jen.
Then and now, right?
Then and now.
Not before and after.
But then you're going to do another set 3 weeks later. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I'm going to start calling them heretofore and hereafter photos. That's going to be what I start referring to them as. Michelle doesn't think I'm funny.
I do think I'm funny.
He was looking at something.
I was distracted. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I thought that was a good one.
But yeah, so I think overall, we see this co-opting of body positivity and non-diet over and over again in the space. And I feel like, this is one of the larger companies to try to make this pivot that's not even really a pivot. And I do, it is kind of a shame because they had an opportunity that if they were going to do it, they could have gone all fucking in and they didn't.
The only way it will ever be a true full pivot is if Autumn is gone and Carl is gone.
Yeah.
That's it. And
like a changing of the guard. Yeah.
It would have to be, the only way. It's the only way. And I think just they're in their mind, in Autumn's mind, because they all follow Autumn.
Yeah.
If you're being anti-diet means you're anti-vegetables. Being anti-diet, we're not part of diet culture, means you eat dessert every day.
Right.
When I rarely ever eat dessert.
Yeah.
But if I want to, I can, and I don't feel any guilt or shame about it, and I don't have to swap out a sweet potato for a cookie.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like there's no swapping. It's like if I want a cookie, you just eat a cookie.
Yeah.
There's a warped sense of because they don't listen to us.
No.
Of what being anti-diet, being an undiet, being non-diet, not following that. It's a warped sense of what it means. And they don't understand what intuitive eating is. They don't understand what mindful eating is because they don't listen.
Yeah.
They block.
Well, because they're not trying to learn. They're just trying to fill their bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's a shame that this was a potential opportunity for them to make a pivot and, do better and be better and grow. But instead they're just like bastardizing what the movement actually is and what it's about. And it's just going to lead to more confusion, unfortunately, for more folks. So,
I'll say this. If you're listening, watching, and you really want something, just an online big platform with lots of options, Peloton.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have Peloton. I have the Peloton app. I do some of their strength work. Like there's a 3-week arm with Tune Day. And I loved that, super simple, super fast done. Especially when I'm like, I don't want to have to think of what I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's free options on YouTube if you can't afford. And that's one of the biggest things I get is I can't afford your program. It's like, okay, I understand that. Here are options that aren't Beachbody.
Yeah, exactly. There's tons of other options. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
if anybody needs any ideas for options, you can email us. We will also link Jen's contact info below in the show notes. So you can reach out to any of us here if you're looking for suggestions, and we will, get you hooked up with what you need and what's a good fit for you.
Yeah.
So Jen, thanks so much for joining us again tonight. So grateful for you and the work that you're doing, and along with Cheryl and most of the other folks I just know by their handles on Instagram.
And Cheryl, Amber, Amy, and DC. We are
Amber, yes. So, thanks for all the work.
Through
all the work that you're doing, and keep it up.
Thank you.
Right.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
everybody.